I present to you the biggest, most ridiculous shoulder fire rifle ever created, the 4-bore rifle. 2,150 grains, 1 inch in diameter. This is a Campbell soup can, and this is the 4-bore. It's gonna be putting out upwards of 200 pounds of felt recoil. All right, here we go. Oh! Oh! What's up, everybody? My name is Scott and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics. And I don't know if you know this, but it's been 2 years since my 50 cal accident. A lot of you have been asking me for a health update for quite a while, so I feel like now is an appropriate time to give you one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend you go watch the video, but for those of you who do not know, a quick rundown is my 50 cal exploded and it almost took me out. A 1-inch piece of metal hit me in the throat, lacerated my jugular, punctured and collapsed my right lung, broke my face, my orbital bone, my nose, my finger, and I lost a tremendous amount of bodily fluid. And if it wasn't for me shoving my thumb into my throat, I would not have made it, and that's why I wear the shirts that say just put a thumb in it. Now, 2 years later, I can tell you that I have fully recovered. I have not shown you this before, but I have a 15-inch scar that goes all the way up my chest. It took a little over a year for my diaphragm to fully recover. I was out of breath for a long time, but now I do not have any shortness of breath. I went blind in my right eye during the accident, but now I have 20/20 vision again. My left finger, which was broken, is now fully functional again, and the only lasting effects that I really have are the scar, and my teeth on this side are still numb. So to repair my collapsed lung, retrieve the shrapnel out of my lung, and repair my jugular, the doctors had to completely bone saw my rib cage and my collarbone. Something you may not know about me is I love to bench press. I used to power lift, and I've been lifting weights since I was 14 years old, and around the age of 24, I bench pressed over 425 pounds. I was not bench pressing anywhere near 400 pounds prior to my accident, and it's been years since I've done so. So over the last 2 years, my gym goal has been to bench press 400 pounds again. Then I would be able to say that I have literally come back stronger since my accident. It was pretty scary in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie. The doctors told me that if I went too hard, too quick, then I may just pop open. But I am proud to say that I have finally achieved my goal, and I have now bench pressed 400 pounds again after recovering from my accident. So now that I can officially say that I am fully recovered and then some, I feel like I need to do something special. So I have these 730 days since last accident shirts. Here on the sleeve, you have the thumb from the original Just Put a Thumb in It shirt and the logo on the left side as usual. These are only going to be available for the month of April. And on top of that, I have these gold thumb trophies. I have a little over 100 of these. I'm going to autograph every single one, and they're going to be sprinkled in with these shirt orders. So be sure and check them out. There's going to be a link in the description down below. And now that we are back, bigger, better, and stronger than ever, I want to introduce you to the newest firearm to the channel, which is also bigger and better than ever. You know, Captain America has a shield. Thor has his hammer. Thanos has his gauntlet. And for years, I've been searching for my one-of-a-kind weapon. And by golly, I think I found it. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the biggest, most ridiculous shoulder fire rifle ever created, the 4-bore rifle. This thing is an absolute behemoth and everything I have ever wanted in a firearm. It fires this ridiculous round. This is a 4-bore round, and this bullet weighs 2,150 grains, 1 inch in diameter. This particular 4-bore is a falling block single shot rifle made by Christian Firearms, and ironically, the serial number is 4. It has a lever down here, which lowers your block. You put your round in, then you raise your block back up. After that, it's ready to go, but you better have a good idea of what you're gonna fire at, because this gun weighs 20 pounds, so I doubt you're gonna be able to hold it up for very long. I am super excited to shoot this rifle and show you what it can do, but before we get into that, I want to show you just how big and ridiculous this round really is. Here's some rounds that you've seen on the channel, and we're going to compare them to the 4-bore. This is a 9mm, we have a 223, 45-70, 12 gauge, 10 gauge, 4 gauge. This is the 700 Nitro Express, that's a 1,000 grain bullet, and this is the 50 BMG with a 650 grain bullet. And now here they are compared to the 4-bore. As you can see, the 4-bore is a lot bigger. 1 inch in diameter, it is 2,150 grains. This is 650. This is 1,000. When it comes to 223, that's 55 grains. It would take 40 rounds to make one 4-bore. And for those of you who need a different frame of reference, this is a Campbell soup can, and this is the 4-bore. And if that's not enough for you, check this out. 10 gauge shotgun shell. Nom 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 nom. 700 Nitro Express. Nom 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 nom. 50 BMG. Nom 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 nom. The 4-bore rifles were designed to be the absolute limit for a human to be able to aim and shoot from the shoulder. A shotgun produces upwards of 30 pounds of felt recoil. This 2,150 grain bullet out of this 4-bore rifle is going to be producing upwards of 200 pounds of felt recoil. So basically it's going to feel like I'm getting kicked by a horse. It's now finally time to shoot this thing. First, I'm going to take a shot at this Shoot Steel AR500 steel plate and see what the 4-bore does to it. I'm sure you noticed the round I loaded looks slightly different, and that's because every 4-bore is unique. This one requires that the bullet be seated a little deeper in the case. It's still a 2,150 grain bullet, it's just a little deeper in that case. All right. There we go. Oh! Oh! It broke the 2x4. Okay, well, you know, I've been shooting a lot of really big guns for a really long time, and I don't think I've ever seen this happen. I have broke a 2x4 before, but I've never seen one snap to this extent. I mean, just broke right off and took it all the way back here. That 4-bore round makes so much momentum that it practically carried this target about 6 feet backwards. We hit right here, and surprisingly, that giant round actually dented the steel. It also vaporized a lot of the paint. 1, 2, 3. We saw what the 4-bore will do to an AR500 steel plate, but now I want to see what happens when we hit some cinder blocks with it. You know, I am really punishing my shoulder today for your entertainment. So if you're not subscribed to Kentucky Ballistics, do me a big favor and do my shoulder a favor and hit that subscribe button. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh. Whoa! That is a spicy meatball! I have made a lot of gravel over the years destroying cinder blocks, but I don't think I've ever seen cinder blocks explode like that before. The 4-bore just completely annihilated all of these cinder blocks. It does not appear that we went through the 4th cinder block. I reviewed the slow-mo footage and I can't really tell, but I think that the round may have deviated once it made it to this, but it is definitely not here on the table, I can tell you that. So I'm going to go with one of two things. Either one, it completely broke up before it made it to the fourth block, which I find that to be highly unlikely because it's such a big bullet with so much weight. Option two is it deviated out the side and never made it to the fourth block. Regardless, I have never seen a reaction like that when shooting cinder blocks before. Ugh. All right, I feel like it's only appropriate that we shoot a few disgusting targets. We have 6 pounds of chocolate pudding, which has been out here for several months. 6 pounds of refried beans, which has also been sitting outside for a long time. And last, I have a very old can filled with 6 pounds of nacho cheese. And everybody always has something to say about me shooting this cheese, but I don't want to hear it because you know what kind of cheese this is?
Nacho cheese!
Obviously, I do not believe that 3 cans is going to stop the 4-bore, so put some cinder blocks back there too. Oh, my poor shoulder. Here we go. Oh my gosh! Wow, it is still, it's still raining cheese and pudding and whatnot. Well then, that was energetic. Let's have a look-see, shall we? Our pudding and nacho cheese and refried beans got completely annihilated. Let's see here. Yeah, that's, oh, look at that hole. Peekaboo. God. We destroyed a cinder block, and I don't know if we're gonna find the round this time either. Notice the table. There was so much force that it just completely pushed the table downwards and bent the entire thing. And if you look right here, this is actually the piece that was pressed out of the can. That's crazy. It didn't just punch a little hole in it. It literally took a chunk out of the can. I have never seen anything like that before. So now I have some 5-gallon water jugs. I'm hoping that maybe this time we could catch a round or at least some fragments and figure out what this round is doing. I'm hoping that 20 gallons will do it. I'm starting to feel this one. This packs quite a punch. It's basically shoulder-fired artillery. All righty, let's see if we can catch this thing. Here we go. Oh! I don't think we caught it. The 4-bore has done nothing but impress me today. We went through 4 5-gallon water jugs. That is impressive. And on top of that, the energy that it delivered to that water was nuts. It went everywhere. I reviewed the slow-mo footage because I wanted to see what happened. Obviously, there is not a round inside either one of these. But after looking at the slow-mo footage, I could see that the round went this way, and I found it. Hold on a second. Hold on. Here it is. Look at that. It has not broken up at all. It just smushed the top of it a little bit, and it looks fantastic. That is a huge piece of lead. And while looking for this one, I found the round that we shot the cinder blocks with. And it is right here, and it's a little more smushed than the one that went through the water. But still, it really did not break up much at all. It looks like it is mostly there. It's got a little bit of cinder block in it. Not only are these rounds just absolutely ginormous, but they are penetrating very deep and delivering an insane amount of energy. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you thought about the 4-bore rifle, and What would you like to see me hit with it next? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to Kentucky Ballistics, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure and check me out on Kentucky Ballistics Shorts, Kentucky Customs, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links to all those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com, just in case you want to pick up a shirt. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics. See you next time.